How do you turn this on?
Well, somebody misplaced the octopus motor. So when you get in there and fight with him, shake his legs around. It looks like he's killing you. Okay.
You know I turned down Frankenstein.
Some movies tank so spectacularly at the box office, you'd think their directors would have to maybe open a cupcake shop or start a YouTube channel. But not these folks. Instead, these cinematic misfires became the secret weapons that raised their creators' legacies from the dead. Get ready as we count down the top 10 movies that bombed, but revived a director's career. Starting off with a scream, literally, is The Thing from the 80s, John Carpenter's horror masterpiece that got iced out in theaters. Released right after E.T. warmed everyone's hearts, this gory alien thriller had audiences saying, "Nope, too much paranoia, not enough Reese's Pieces." But here's the twist, time was kind of the thing. As the VHS rolled and horror fans multiplied, it became a cult phenomenon. Carpenter parlayed that into films like Starman and cemented himself as the king of paranoid nightmares. Oh, and Kurt Russell? That beard deserves its own Hall of Fame. Imagine releasing a movie so good it's now studied in animation classes, only for it to flop harder than a giant robot doing a belly flop. Enter the Iron Giant. Brad Bird's heartfelt tale didn't click with audiences in '99, but thanks to streaming and home video, it became one of the most beloved animated films ever. With that street cred, Bird went on to helm The Incredibles and Ratatouille. Moral of the story? Never count out a giant robot or Brad Bird. What happens when you mix quirky humor, video game aesthetics, and Michael Cera? Apparently, a box office faceplant. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World wasn't exactly a hit out of the gate.
No, why would I get fat?
Bread makes you fat.
Bread makes you fat?
But over time, its chaotic energy and deep-cut nerd references found a devoted fan base, making it a certified cult classic. Wright bounced back with Baby Driver, proving he's here to stay, and bringing that frenetic style we've all come to love. Heaven's Gate wasn't just a flop, it was the mother of all flops. This Western epic had a budget so bloated it made Waterworld look thrifty. Studio execs were sweating bullets, but that was nothing compared to the fallout when the film hit theaters. The box office returns? Let's just say they wouldn't cover a Tumbleweeds catering bill. United Artists, the studio behind the movie, practically imploded, and Cimino's reputation was left in tatters. But as with all great redemption arcs, the story didn't end there. Over the years, critics and cinephiles took a second look at Heaven's Gate, and suddenly it wasn't a punchline anymore. Its lush cinematography, ambitious scope, and unflinching critique of American greed found a new audience. What was once a cautionary tale for directors became a badge of auteur cred for Cimino. Sure, it didn't save United Artists, but hey, at least it saved Cimino's legacy. Ridley Scott's Blade Runner was a brain-boner, neon-drenched enigma, released alongside hits like E.T. and Tron. This dystopian noir looked amazing, but felt, yeah, but nah. Critics called it too slow, and audiences thought it was too weird. Imagine that back in 1982. The studio even meddled with the film, slapping on a controversial voiceover that Scott hated. But Blade Runner wasn't meant to fade into obscurity. Over time, thanks to DVDs and an eventual director's cut, its haunting themes, groundbreaking visuals, and Vangelis's mesmerizing score gained the recognition they deserved. The movie became a sci-fi cornerstone, inspiring everything from The Matrix to Westworld. As for Scott, he used the clout to deliver hits like Thelma and Louise and Gladiator. So, yeah, Blade Runner taught Hollywood an important lesson. Turns out, dystopia just needed time to marinate. What's creepier than a bunny with a vendetta? Watch Richard Kelly's Kafkaesque psychological thriller Donnie Darko, where audiences were like, huh? Unfortunately, it released right after 9/11, when no one was in the mood for existential dread, wrapped in a mind-bending plot. Critics were divided. Audiences were, let's just say, confused. But Donnie Darko wasn't done. Thanks to the rise of DVDs and midnight screenings, the movie found its true audience: angsty teens, philosophy majors, and anyone who loved puzzling over time travel. Its unique blend of sci-fi, teen drama, and existential horror turned it into an indie sensation. And while Kelly's follow-up films didn't quite hit the same high, Donnie Darko secured his place as a visionary director with a cult following. Alfonso Cuarón could have coasted on the kid-friendly magic of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Instead, he followed it up with a grim, dystopian masterpiece about a world with no kids. Bold choice, I guess.
Where are we? Canterbury. We're close.
Anyone know if there's a hotel around here?
What?
Julian promised me a little bit of action.
You still like it in the afternoon?
So what'd you do? Rob a train? Blow up a building?
Leave the girl alone. You told me he was suave. One kid's a drunk.
He's suave. Should have seen him in the old days when he was a real activist.
You were the activist. I just wanted to get laid.
One time, the police came to throw us out of our squat, and Theo invited them up for coffee to negotiate, only the coffee was spiked with ketamine.
No. You didn't, did you?
Oh, fuck off. You gotta be kidding.
Box office success? Not so much. Audiences weren't exactly rushing to watch societal collapse unfold in painstaking, single-take glory. But good things take time, and Children of Men proved to be a slow burn, with jaw-dropping visuals, a deeply emotional story, and that famous car chase the film quietly earned its place in cinematic history. And Cuarón got ultimate proof that taking risks pays off. Fast forward a few years, and he's taking home Oscars for Gravity and later Roma. Slow and steady wins the race, especially with those long takes. First rule of Fight Club: we don't talk about how this movie bombed hard at the box office. When David Fincher's darkly satirical take on toxic masculinity hit theaters, audiences were less wow, so edgy, and more WTF. The marketing was more like sabotage. Nobody knew if they were in a fight movie, a love story, or a psychology blah 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 blah. Thankfully, DVDs swooped in and saved the day. As viewers started catching on to the film's biting commentary and visual brilliance, Fight Club became a cultural phenomenon, complete with soap bars, anti-consumerism rants, and one of the most infamous plot twists in movie history. Fincher went from the director of that weird Brad Pitt movie to Hollywood's golden boy, delivering hits like The Social Network, Zodiac, and Gone Girl. The take-home? Never underestimate the power of a good twist and a better rewatch. As impossible as it sounds, The Shawshank Redemption was a certified flop when it first hit theaters. Audiences barely showed up for Frank Darabont's adaptation of Stephen King's novella. Critics, mildly impressed. It was like the movie equivalent of being ghosted on a first date. But then came VHS rentals, followed by all-you-can-watch cable TV. Slowly but surely, Shawshank found its audience, resonating with viewers who connected with its timeless themes of hope, friendship, and resilience. Today, it's not just a great movie. It's the movie you tell people is your favorite to sound like you know cinema. Darabont's skillful storytelling earned him the clout to direct The Green Mile and later bring us The Walking Dead. Oh, fun fact: Shawshank is still sitting pretty at the top of countless greatest movies of all time. Talk about the ultimate underdog story, both for the film and its director. Before we reveal number one, let's pour one out for these near misses. Speed Racer, a Wachowski fever dream turned cult classic. Big Trouble in Little China, another Carpenter gem that aged like fine wine. Hugo, the box office doesn't matter when Oscars are involved. Our top pick is the OG flop to icon story. It's a Wonderful Life, when Frank Capra's heartfelt tale of George Bailey first hit theaters. Audiences weren't exactly flocking to see it. Released during the holiday season of 1946, it faced stiff competition and lukewarm reviews, with critics calling it too sentimental and old-fashioned. As for the box office, let's just say it wasn't winning any bells or wings back then. But here's where the magic happens. In the 70s, when the film entered the public domain, TV stations started airing it every Christmas for free. And thanks to endless TV reruns, It's a Wonderful Life turned into a holiday tradition, a must-watch that jogged people's memories as to what the season is really all about: community, resilience, and finding meaning in the everyday. It struck a chord with audiences across generations, transforming it into a quintessential American classic. And let's not forget Frank Capra's redemption arc. The movie that was initially seen as a career misstep became his crowning achievement. George's desperate run through Bedford Falls, Clarence the Angel's quirky wisdom, and of course, Zuzu's petals all became etched into the fabric of pop culture. It's a Wonderful Life didn't just revive Capra's career. It became the defining holiday movie, shaping the way we think about kindness and connection every December. Proof that even the biggest box office bombs can pave the way to greatness. Which flop turned favorite surprised you most? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more Second Shot Cinema.
Cut.